Nigel Farage was born on the outskirts of London in a place called Down, just outside London. He attended Dulwich, which was a posh school back then for rich, posh people. Where Nigel Farage grew up was a place where basically it was for rich and famous, once known also for the likes of Charles Darwin, who grew up in the same place as Nigel Farage. From the early ages, Nigel Farage was also a bigot and a fascist from early days, from the early 90s, where he became a prefect at his primary school because he was very outspoken, and also because of his sporting views, where he was very good at golf. He also won a golfing tournament with two of his other mates. Farage has never ever given back to communities he's always taken. And people who want to follow Nigel Farage, I think, are futilely stupid, because this is a man who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. This is a man who doesn't care about poor people, who's never experienced poverty or anything like that in his life. From 1971, when the police were institutionally attacking black people, the problem was always hairline in London, and Farage's views on certain issues were always strong regarding the police, regarding the policing. He doesn't care about the poor people, Nigel Farage. The school that Nigel Farage attended, Dulwich, was once operation for the police during the 1981 riots of Brixton, when the police used to go around smashing people's heads in. And that's during the 1970s, early 70s, right the way up till the 80s. Nigel Farage has always been a bigot, always been a fascist, a man that doesn't care about poor people. He only cares about the rich people. He even once donned a pinstripe suit, the same suit that his father wore. His father was also a swindler, and Nigel Farage became a swindler as well. After Farage left school in 1981, he got a job with a rich broker where he earned good living, earned good money, and from then he went forward. Also, Nigel Farage was also a chauffeur for Enoch Powell. Enoch Powell, as you know, was one of the most racist people ever to come out of Britain. He once wrote The River of Blood. Nigel Farage's views on people, on poor people, he doesn't care. So the people who think that Nigel Farage doesn't care. He's only all in for himself, out to make as much money as possible, out to keep the people poorer, out to get rid of people, because his main agenda is on immigration. And that's all he talks about, immigration, because for a start, Nigel Farage has always been a part of the fascist far-right groups, but just that people don't see a bigger picture of what he's trying to attain. People need to open their eyes on Nigel Farage and need to realise, yeah, you vote Reform UK. What are you trying to reform? Because at the end of the day, Nigel Farage comes in with whatever he's going to say, and it's not going to make any sense, because he's just going to laugh at people, ain't going to rebuild the communities. He's going to basically turn it into a war zone where friends who get on with friends are going to become enemies. Because when you've got a person who's a fascist and a bigot, like Nigel Farage is, it just creates one total problem. And that's what Farage is going to do. Farage is coming to areas where poor people live. I've never seen Nigel Farage go around a community where poor people want to speak or say something. He's very much against migrants, very much against people like myself. My parents came here, like I said, in the 1950s, and they worked their socks off. Worked their socks off to make Britain a better place, a bigger place. Unfortunately, times haven't really changed too much because you've got people like Nigel Farage and you're getting a country who's going backwards, want to represent a man like Nigel Farage who comes from a very, very wealthy part of London. His parents were stinkingly filthy rich. His father was a swindler. Nigel Farage also became a swindler. And people are going to vote on the back of criminality. To me, he's just another Donald Trump. Another Donald Trump wearing a pinstripe suit. Only the other one is an orange man. He looks like the Tango Man. And Nigel Farage is an orange man who's got a Cheshire Cat smile. Who smiles like Bart Simpson. He doesn't care about people like me. He doesn't come to the areas of the inner cities and walks around and talks to people, you know what I mean, and gives people hope. This type of people gives people, to me, a negative view of it with human beings. Because as far as he's concerned, he's never seen or suffered what most poor people have suffered in society. It's about taking and taking and taking. And he's going to be worse than Donald Trump, because if you look at his views, sit back and read his views, he obviously supports the police a hell of a lot, but Nigel Farage's views going back to the 70s when he supported a lot of fascist stuff, a lot of fascist views. He's totally right. So why would I want to support an ignorant man like him? He basically was a power image in Brexit, which was a failed image of Britain, where Britain struggled and is still struggling because the EU, part of the EU, don't want nothing to do with Britain. It's only now that's Keir Starmer, another one, who's signed up deal with the EU to try and help Britain get back on its feet, because to be truthful, no one wants to deal with England or the UK because of what the UK have done. Because basically Brexit was set up to get rid of most migrants out of the UK, which they've done a good job of that. Because look at the NHS. The NHS is crumbling, and it's been for many years. But during Brexit, it's got worse. You go to a doctor's surgery, can you get seen? Did I say to you, come back another day, or ring back in 48 hours, we'll get in touch with you? But it's worse even. It's worse now. All the food that's gone to waste because there's no people that can pick these crops or pickers. You go into you pick strawberries and stuff like that. Do low grade jobs that migrants have done for years. And then got people from Reform saying, get rid of all the migrants. Or keep the good migrants, get rid of all the migrants. But what people don't realise is that the UK is built on migration. The UK is very much built on migration. There's good and bad in everywhere. And if you look at the most stats, you'll find out that most of the problems, i.e. regarding young children, most of the problems are not just grooming gangs, are basically British men themselves. So we need to take a look at the bigger picture and realise and think who and what we're voting for. Do you really think Nigel Farage is going to come into an inner city area and talk to the people? Do you really think he's going to fund the areas? The only thing he's going to fund is the police. That's the only thing he's going to fund is the police. He's not going to fund anything else. He's going to do exactly what he did with Brexit. Take. When the country's coming on its knees, he'll do a runner. He will do a runner. If they do get in power. But right now they are favourites to win from the UK. I want to see Farage come down to inner city areas and speak to people, whether it's in Salford, whether it's in Manchester, whether it's in Bolton, to Moss Side, come to Fallowfield. Yes, brother. Okay. Big shout, yes. Nigel Farage.
I like it.
Nigel Farage should come and talk to people like us.
Yeah. More side.
Yeah, more side.
More side,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. Nigel Farage should come down and talk to people and integrate with us and find out what we want, what people want. Not just in Moss Side, in Bolton, in other areas. Not just feeding this agenda about migration is the problem. Like I said, migrants have been here for a long time. Oh, the migrants are taking our hotels, they're taking our jobs. What jobs? What jobs? The jobs that British people won't do. The jobs in care homes that you see, like if you see like a African lady or Jamaican lady or a Polish lady doing them jobs, because the British don't want to do them jobs. They'd rather get free money. You know what I mean? Because free things come to the people in the UK. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are far more wealthy than anybody, and some of them are not even working. You know, I'm not saying people who are the genuine ones who are sick ain't entitled to that, because you are entitled to things. But there's also some people who also take the piss out of the system, and the system are giving them certain things, 8, 9 bedroom houses, and then there's people out there who worked all their lives, like myself. And we end up having it hard, because I'm not wealthy. I'm far from wealthy. I'm just a normal man. I must admit that over the years I've had to work hard. I work hard to get what I want, to get the little that I have. You go to some parts of the world, there's some people right now who can't even eat food. If you look at places in the Congo that they've never shown on TV, also what's going on in Gaza right now, the Palestinians being starved by the Israeli government, things like that. We are privileged. We are privileged in some places privileged enough to see things that we've got that some people can't have. You know what I mean? That some people can't have. You know? Look around you. This was the main road area that the fans used to walk to Main Road. Now they built houses on this property. One of the diverse communities, that Farage, if he had any sense, would have come round and talk to people. Because when you go to a rich school, Dulwich, full of rich people, you don't need to. When you've got rich parents who can give you whatever you want, when you're a con man, like Nigel Farage, you can do whatever you want. So I just started laughing. Yes, brother, you okay? You all right? You all right? Yeah, man. So basically, Nigel Farage supporters, I like him to come down here and represent the people of the poor areas, because all he's doing basically is feeding the people who, most of them, don't even want migrants in the country. Because some of the stuff I've seen on TikTok, on YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff, it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard to take in. Knowing that I was born in the UK, and it's something hard to take in. And to see some of these reform people who vote Reform UK and forever targeting migrants. And they never ever look at some of the stuff that their own people have done. You know what I mean? Take for instance Michael Ryan. Back in the 90s, Michael Ryan in Newcastle Hungerford massacre. Got a shot bow and massacred how many people? 18, 19 people in Hungerford. You know what I mean? These are people, these are people, these are Caucasian people that never get spoken about. Look at Weekend Liverpool. The car smashing into lots of people, almost killing lots of people. I got 5 people send me videos of a Muslim man, partly being dragged out of the car. It wasn't even a Muslim or Asian man. It was a white Caucasian, high on drugs. He actually sneaked past the ambulances and came in there and almost wiped out generations of people. So people need to open their mouths before they open their mouths first and judge. You've got to get the facts straight. Stop blaming and blaming and blaming. Lots of people in this country are still eating food, are still going to school, are still getting benefits, still getting stuff. You go to the third world, you ain't even getting that. You're not even getting that. You don't even see the council in Manchester going around sweeping up the streets anymore. Go to Trafford, a lot cleaner than Manchester City Council. They come out and they work and keep the streets clean. In Manchester, I've been around Harper, I've been to a lot of areas, they don't. And it's very, very sad. It's sad. So Farage, the guy, he's loaded. Yes, guys. All right, yes. Guy, he's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. The man who speaks reform. Let's change and make Britain great again. Let's get rid of all the migrants in the UK. Let's have the perfect race. Take that silver spoon out your mouth, Mr. Farage. Take the silver spoon out your mouth and represent the poor people. And stop trying to divide families and friends. This is exactly what you want with that smile on your face. Come and spend money on these shops around here. Represent the poor people. And this shop's down there that need a facelift, alright? Come represent. So Mr. Farage, if you ever want to meet up with me, I'm ready to meet you. Please like and subscribe my video. This is just the start of the journey. I've got a lot more on Farage I'm going to talk about. Britain and its culture. Because without migrants, there'd be no curry houses, there'd be no Jamaican food shops. Lots of stuff are imported this country because this is an import country and most things are imported. So guys, please like and subscribe my video. Hope the video ain't too hard. But people need to open their eyes and reform UK and ask yourself what you want to reform. Because the problem is not all a migrant problem. The problem is also your own problems. So open up your eyes before you start talking. Like and subscribe, guys. Please share. Wins Life. I'm back.